Hello again, everyone. That was very aggressive. I apologize. Hey, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Wish You Were Beer Show. This is a weekly beer review show that we do every Thursday. We do it live.
Yeah. For some reason.
For some dumb reason.
It's a terrible idea.
Could you imagine if we could edit this, how polished it would be?
No.
Yeah, actually, no. It'd be the same.
We'd just be like, yeah, it's fine. It's good enough. Throw it up.
This is a weekly show that we do every Thursday at 8 o'clock Eastern time. You can find it here on the YouTubes. You can find it on Facebook, Twitter. You can find it on our website, wishyouwerebeershow.com. But we try different beers. We have beers we haven't had. We talk to different breweries. Sometimes we have guests on. Sometimes we just argue amongst ourselves about the beer, like tonight.
Tonight we'll be amongst ourselves.
Tonight we will be arguing amongst ourselves.
Oh.
Did you not know that, Phil?
I did not. No, this is news to me.
God. Phil has a lot of different slides set up for the show that are now useless. But as always, with every show we do, if you can go down in the About section, find all our information, make sure you like and subscribe. You can follow us on all the different channels. So you can follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, sort of, but that's really just for the streaming aspect. We don't post a lot of conspiracy theories or anything that your grandma does.
It does automatically link whatever we put on Instagram onto our...
Oh, nice. So there are some conspiracy theories.
Nope,
just a few.
some pictures.
Okay.
Just some beer pictures.
Okay.
Sorry.
You can also find all of our individual Untapped handles as well as the show Untapped. So Untapped is the beer check-in app that we use both to log all the beers we've had on the show and also to find out who's a bigger alcoholic. And thus far, I am leaps and bounds ahead of everyone, which is great. Winning. Just winning. I'm the Charlie Sheen of beer, and he's the Charlie Sheen of drugs, so it's great. But make sure you follow along with us. You can find out what beers we're having. If you go to our website, you can track all the beers that we've had in the past, but we also try to keep an updated calendar. So if you follow any of our subscription services, or even if we're not using Beer Drop or Tabor or any of those options, see if you can't find the beer. We have them listed out almost a month now, right?
Maybe more.
Yeah, I think even more. I think we're through almost April.
Yeah. So gives you ample time to find these beers and potentially grab it somewhere or find it somewhere and have the same beer that we're having.
Yep.
But regardless, if you can't find the beers we're having, if you're logged into YouTube or if you're on Twitter or Facebook, you can live comment along with us. Tell us what beer you're having. There's a little bit of a lag in there, so bear with us if it, don't at me if we don't immediately answer your comment. Like, good Lord, I'm not Regis Philbin.
What?
I've decided, I've had this conversation with Tiffany recently. I've decided I'm just going to start making references that don't really, it could make sense, but not really. So it's close enough that people will be like, did Regis Philbin have to answer a question? No, he was asking the questions. I think.
Yeah, and was it live? I don't know.
So be prepared for that, Phil.
We're going to argue. We're going to make it a thing.
Yeah.
But that being said, we're glad you guys stopped by to watch. Make sure you tell your friends. Like I said, like and subscribe, share it with everybody. If they like beer, they don't like beer, they're just finding out about beer. Phil's also just finding out about beer, so they can get on board.
About it.
Barely.
I've been drinking nothing but Smirnoff Ice before this show.
You have terrible friends. But that being said, thanks for stopping by, following along, and also, as always, I'm Daniel. This is Tiffany. That's Phil, who's in a new location as well.
Because it had been
every time.
Yeah, I thought it's been. I haven't changed it up in a while. I've been in the same place for the past 4 episodes. So it was time for something new.
Time for a big change.
Yeah.
Oh, King of Clouds is a solid beer, Jason.
That is a very solid beer.
Yes, it is. So where are you, Phil? Educate the savage here.
So I am in St. Martin right now.
God, I love South Africa.
Yep, that's exactly where it is on the map.
Beautiful. Oh, the horn.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I am in the Caribbean. I am on a half Dutch, half French island called St. Martin with 2 A's or 1. I don't know. Depends on what side you're on. I'm on the Dutch side currently, and I'm actually drinking a St. Martin beer.
Oh, nice.
Ugh. It's in this like little tiny bottle.
Yeah. I was going
And,
to say, did your hands get bigger in flight, or is that a
Yeah.
small beer?
Lot
I
of
tell you though,
swelling.
this thing makes you feel good. Yeah, so a lot of the beers here come in these little like 250 milliliter bottles.
Okay.
I haven't figured out why yet. I'm wondering if it's like a shipping thing. I don't know.
So that you have to buy more to get as drunk because they don't want you to get out of hand.
That's true.
Right.
Yeah, that's probably actually very much what it is. But this is an IPA. It's called Pirates Edition from Caribbean Brewing Company.
Nice.
But it is made right here in St. Martin on the Dutch side.
Mm.
The ingredients: water, malt, hops, yeast. That's it.
Oh, cool.
So
That's probably all they could get there.
Yeah, right. So 7%er, and their tagline is "the beer from here." So
How is it?
it's actually really good. It's just like the ingredients are exactly what they are. So it's like just this like really simple, nice IPA.
Nice.
Yeah, it's not too bitter, just kind of nice. So
You know I like my IPAs bitter, so I'm against you on this one.
it's not too bitter, but it is
Okay.
bitter.
Okay.
It's just not like that like West Coast IPA bitterness
Sure.
thing. It's good.
That's good.
They've got a few breweries here. They've got there's not. I mean, it's a small 20-something square mile island, so they don't have a lot of space to have breweries. But they've got, I want to say 3 or 4 right now. So I'll have to hit them up and see if I can get inside some of them.
Are they newer since you've been there last?
Yeah. So I don't remember them being here when I first started coming here 7 years ago, and then all of a sudden they kind of started popping up.
Sure.
And there's some really, really cool ones. So I'll try to have a different one every week that I'm here so I can show them off.
Oh, that's fun.
That would be fun.
Yeah.
Maybe if you happen to go to one, you could, I don't know, Instagram it, perhaps.
Oh, God, I don't have time.
I know.
You know?
I know. Busy day.
Yeah, I'll definitely go to one and I don't know. Instagram that. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
I'm not going to make any broken promises.
Maybe take your top off.
Oh, that's going to happen. Yeah.
Oh, by the way, in preparation for this show, knowing that you were going to be in St. Martin, it took everything I had not to load the Island Boy video into our sidebar so that I could randomly play it every time you talked about St. Martin. Island Boy! But just one clip.
I think it'll probably appear at some point in the next 12 shows.
Unfortunately, I think I owe those young gentlemen money now. I don't know how this works, but
Yeah. Something tells me they owe someone else money too, though. So let's be. Those guys do not look like people who don't owe someone money.
their barber owes them money. But other than that, I don't know what they got going for them.
How's your week been?
Every time.
How's what?
How's your week been?
Nothing too out of the ordinary for us. Haven't really done much this week. Tiffany's been busy with work. I've been busy with work. So
Normal stuff.
normal stuff.
Yeah.
We haven't really done much this week other than
Really fun.
eat pizza and avoid life.
Yeah.
Big pizza week for us. Like we had it twice.
We had leftovers because we ordered. So we were at this restaurant with some of his family, and they had like 3 sizes, and so we ordered the smallest size, without like really thinking of.
We ordered individual pizzas. I wanted one and she wanted one.
It
Like different styles.
was huge.
It's apparently 14 inches in circumference is different than how I measure it because it was a fucking large pizza.
Yeah, that is
Like
a large
between
pizza.
both of it. And I was like, God.
We did go to the office.
Jason follows us. He knew we were at the office, which is a bar in Gloucester near us.
It is a dive bar, and I just sat there at the bar and like faced Daniel and the wall.
We went there for dessert. We had already eaten, so we went for dessert.
I just wanted to watch some football before the 49ers disappointed me.
Got their ass kicked, but
No, it was a close game. It wasn't an
Yeah, it
ass
was
kicking.
close.
That was
Yeah.
anytime you got Jimmy G in,
Jimmy G looked great.
He looked great.
As usual.
They actually took some still frames from it and made a Gillette commercial somehow. It was
Sounds
amazing.
about right.
But yeah, we just needed to go eat somewhere that we could eat some dessert. But
So I had fried Oreos,
Ugh.
6 of them on a plate.
I did not eat
You at a
that.
fair? What is going on?
No,
Nope.
this is at a bar, Hoss.
So this is really just to set the scene for you of what this place was.
It was amazing. I loved it.
We also looked around at some people. That was fun. It's always fun, people watching.
Big day.
I just meant, dive bars are really not my typical scene.
Yeah, because you get hit on, but if I go to a dive bar by myself,
You get super hit on.
it's a safe place for me. No, different dive bars you're thinking of, but yes, sometimes. But normally it's a safe place for me because no one cares about me in a dive bar. That's where I can go have a beer and not talk to anybody. You, on the other hand, go into a dive bar and it's like fucking flies on shit.
Thanks for calling me shit.
No, that's
It could have been.
that's a common thing.
No, it could have been like catch more flies with honey than you do vinegar.
That's if you're trying to convince people something positive for you.
You could have. There's a lot of other sayings that mean the same thing. So, fight number 2 done.
Yep. Yeah, see how many more we can go through tonight.
Well, this week's over.
Yeah, but anyway, long story short, a lot of pizza. I had apple cobbler with ice cream. Normal dessert, safe dessert.
Now, I would say pizza and beer is probably the greatest combination.
No.
100%.
No, pizza and wings. I'm sorry, beer and wings.
Oh, beer and wings.
Pizza and wings also delicious.
Pizza and wings also doesn't miss.
Yes.
Yeah, but if the wings are too spicy, then you're not really getting the pizza or the beer.
Look, let's just go to the next topic. This
I still stand by it. Pizza and beer is the best combo. All right.
I'm okay with that because we were at a kind of a, I don't want to say a chain, but a local chain pizza place.
Mom and pop.
Yeah.
2 or 3 locations.
And pizza's not great, but we got pictures of Stella. And I still think we got out of there for like less than $30 with like 2 pizzas and like 2 pictures.
It was a little more than that, I think.
Yeah.
Was it?
I don't know. You paid.
Yeah, exactly. Just get up off my back about it.
I was going to pay, and then I went to the bathroom, not on purpose. And then you paid.
I can't find my card. I had to go to the bathroom.
No.
Sorry, my grandmother died. Thanks for picking up the tab.
Anyway.
Great start.
Yeah.
Great
how far
start.
into this are we already?
13 minutes. All right.
All right.
Let's pull this shit together. So,
right.
What are we doing?
Tonight, we are doing Brewyard Beautiful Skin by Brewyard Beer Company.
That's a tough one, man.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
This is out of Glendale, California. It's
Beautiful.
an Imperial brown lager. So I'm excited about this one because
I'm excited about this because I love brown ales in general.
This
It's
is a
one of
brown
my-
lager. It's
No,
different.
but I'm just saying, like that. The darker the brown ale, brown lager, Imperial brown, doesn't matter. Like I'm usually a fan, so I'm excited for this one. Yep.
Me too.
Yep.
I'm hoping it's not too strong because sometimes
It's only eight something though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
8.2.
it's 8 even or something.
Yeah, but that's not that bad. That's not going to be 10 or below is not going to be that boozy.
Usually.
Yeah.
I hope it is a little boozy.
Well,
Your Rhode Island time. I don't see why not.
I sure am.
all right. Well,
what happens next?
I did some reading,
Okay.
which
Oh.
means we have
What?
some trivia and facts.
Trivia? I'm
One day I'm
so
going to pull this
concerned
together and
as
I'm
to
going to say the right thing. It's just not this show.
why
so
do we keep letting
tune in
Tiffany
next week.
throw things?
Tune in next week.
Tell you what, we're going to do trivia and or facts.
And history and something else.
History and trivia. Nope.
All right. So for those of y'all who may not be familiar with the show, this is the part of the show where we do basically a little bit of trivia, either about the brewery or about the beer or some of the history on it. Originally, it started out as a history and facts section, but we just love that clip so much we're never going to get rid of it.
Right.
Even though it's not really history and facts, it's more trivia.
Right.
So if you're logged into YouTube or if you're on Twitter and Facebook, as we bring these questions up, you can also answer them and respond and probably be right most of the time when I'm wrong.
Yeah,
Now,
this all sounds about right.
Yeah, if you've seen any of these shows, I'm amazing at this.
I'm only good at it when I've done it myself.
When you have the answers.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, you've been terrible without knowing the answers lately.
Right. No. So like there's been a couple of times where I have not been in charge of trivia, and usually it's because I just did not have the time and or energy.
Without any real knowledge on anything. You're
Right.
awful at this.
I am terrible.
And here we were thinking that like Tiffany, we were like, we're gonna have Tiffany be on the show. She'll be like the smart, knowledgeable one.
Nope.
Not living up to it, Tiffany.
Here we are.
Yeah.
16 minutes into our 4 millionth episode in history and trivia facts.
All right.
All right, let's do it.
Let's do it. Comment along, answer with us. There we go.
All right. How did the owners of Brewyard, Sherwin Antonio and Kirk Nishikawa, meet? A, they used to skateboard together in middle school around the beach. B, they met in high school and started restoring old cars together. C, while attending brewing school, they hit it off. Or D, they took the same Econ 101 class at their college and sat next to each other.
All right. Let's get down to brass tacks here.
Yeah.
I don't know what econ is, so D is out the window already. I assume it's some type of street drug.
Yep.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, sometimes you trick me with these questions because they used to skateboard together in middle school around the beach. Did they skateboard somewhere else and now that one's not right, but they did skateboard in middle school together?
I don't know. I'm not going to tell you.
God damn it. I'm going to go with B. They met in high school and started restoring old cars. I don't know about the old cars part, but I assume they met in high school. That seems right.
See, for me, A seems like it could be the possibility because they're from the breweries in Glendale. I have to assume these people are from the California area. So that kind of checks out.
California is actually pretty wide. There's a lot of it that isn't near the beach. I know.
Yes, but I'm assuming if they set up in Glendale, I don't think they're from Glendale because there's a lot of breweries in Glendale. Because I think space-wise, you can have a lot of breweries there.
Okay.
So I'm assuming they're not from Glendale. I'm assuming they're still from the LA area, which to me says that could be a potential.
Okay.
Restoring old cars. I don't know. It doesn't sound right to me. Maybe it is. And brewing school seems too simple. And Econ 101 seems too specific for Tiffany to make it up. So I'm going to go with D. I'm going with Econ 101.
Okay.
Jason went with B.
Yep.
No one else has commented.
I also said B.
Right. B is correct. Phil, I did make up Econ 101 because I took it. And I took 102 or 201, whatever comes next.
So great. You can tell me what econ is.
It's economics. Sorry.
Why do you even talk to me?
So, all right, I do have some things here to talk about.
right.
Yeah, so they became friends back in high school, and they, like, in the interview, they were like, yeah, it was the time when, like, baggy pants were still a thing, and, like, cool water cologne and Tommy Hilfiger jackets, like, all this
water cologne.
I know, and I was like, oh my gosh, like, brings me back. But Sherwin was known as like the go-to guy when it came to fixing up their friends' cars, and his friend Kirk was always there to like help with like rusty bolts or things that like, you know, needed some extra like people leverage, I assume.
People leverage.
Yeah, like
Gotta have that
like,
people
like,
leverage.
like an axle that's like stuck, like an axle's.
I got
Right.
it.
Okay, but eventually they progressed to the point where they just started to like start restoring these classic cars, and then they, you know, fell in love with beer, like most people who try it.
Well, if you're working on a car, a beer is a prerequisite.
Yeah. But anyway, so Sherwin actually started kind of brewing his own beer, and he was actually given a Mr. Brew kit. That was like one of those like white elephant gifts that kept being passed around.
I definitely had one of those.
Yeah. So he like started on that and then like progressed, and he actually like did pretty well. So
nice.
And they still brew in a Mr. Brew kit today.
Can you imagine? It's a 30-barrel Mr. Brew kit system.
It's just a
How
bunch
the
of
hell
those
did you get a
plastic
bucket that
barrels.
big?
Yeah.
Plastic barrels
Pretty much.
everywhere.
But my favorite was the the reason they opened the beer was it was an ill-advised drunken promise that locked them both into a path that started this brewery, and it opened in 2015.
Nice.
So it's been around for a while.
Very cool.
Yeah, I was going to say 2015, then I'm definitely excited about this beer because it's not like their first go-around.
Right.
Yeah.
Good.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Had so many of those lately.
Good God. Can you even imagine? Oh, sorry. All right.
All right. I'm trying to add the next question, and I'm failing miserably. There it goes.
Success.
All right. So, what were some of the other products that were produced and released alongside the beautiful skin beer that the can artist Jacqui C. Smith created? Select all that apply. So, she also created tote bags, coloring book, notebook, and yoga pants. Which ones are correct?
Honestly, I think in this situation, when you're from an artist standpoint, when you're doing something like this, why not do all of them? I say all 4 of them.
I'm going to go with A, B, and C because I feel like yoga pants is kind of off-brand in a weird way. Like
Everybody's going to eat, though.
It's easy for someone to have tote bags made, coloring book made, notebook.
Sure.
Like that's easy to sell. But like, why would you put your art on like someone's butt?
Because she was.
Yoga pants.
I mean, Victoria's Secret Pink was doing it for a long time.
They were in deep with LuLaRoe before it. The bed.
I just don't see it. I'm sticking to that.
Vero tends to agree with you, Phil.
Well, then we know I'm right. If
God
Vero agrees with this.
Did you guess?
Please
You
be
said
all
of them.
4.
It is only A, B, and C. Yoga pants was just a thought that I had while I was in my work mullet outfit. So I was wearing literally what I'm wearing now, like a nice shirt and leggings. So
You just looked down and went, yeah, yoga pants.
Yep. I was like, I don't know what else.
Perfect.
Yep, yoga pants. Kind of like that cat.
They're often on my mind as well.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Understandably.
Yeah.
They look great on you too.
Thank you.
Do you have more information about that, Tiffany?
Yeah. So apparently the coloring book and notebook are still available, or at least when this article was written, but the tote sold out really fast. And she basically was trying to, actually, I don't remember what else I put. But she's like a pretty well-known artist and really does a lot of like the BIPOC as far as their like her subjects. And so it was really kind of exciting for her to put this on a can and really, kind of take where the culture was currently and continue amplifying that and like the BIPOC culture in general.
Nice. I love her artwork. I will say, like, part of the reason I picked this beer this week was because of just the can art. As we know, I'm obsessed with it.
Yeah.
And I just saw it, and I was like, the artwork is just so cool. And then I was like, and I looked her up, and her Instagram is awesome. You should definitely check it out.
That's always one of my favorites. Like when you said, because you're such a can art person, like if you pick it up, like regardless of what the beer is, it takes you down a rabbit hole of, well, who's this artist? Like, do they do other stuff? And then all of a sudden you're on their Instagram following it. And like, this is cool as hell. Like I forgot all about the beer can. Here we are now. But
and that was one of the things that I did a little bit of research on her as well. And that was one of the things that reason she did the can to begin with was because she's like, it's going to reach a new weird audience.
Yeah. Like
people who wouldn't normally see my art. Like not that artists aren't beer drinkers, but like,
sure.
It made me find her, so it's a cool concept,
Yeah. I kind of equate it a lot to like, artist work on what used to be album covers or like inserts in a CD, basically. Like I would always try to seek out like these artists that made these crazy album covers because it's just a weird art you're not going to find anywhere else. The same idea with the beer can stuff. Like these people doing this are artists for a living and they have art jobs, which sounds crazy to me.
Did you ever go to, and this also was a question for you, Phil, and maybe our viewers.
Maybe.
Like, so I used to go to Amoeba Records in San Francisco, and I would just go to a section, and I wouldn't look at the name of like who it was, and I would just pick off like what the artist, like what the cover was, and then like on the ride home, we'd put it in the CD player and see what it was.
No doubt.
And it was kind of like, and it was almost like a game. Like we'd all pick one CD, and then whoever was in the car, like we'd play through the CD, and then be like, whoever won, like, you know, paid for a 6-pack of beer or whatever. Like,
you
it
weren't
was
old enough to drink beer yet.
I mean,
I did the same thing. What was Daniel? When we were in New York City, what was the one down the street from us?
It was Tower Records.
Was that Tower? I used to go in there and I would pick it based off the artwork as well, because I had terrible taste in music, as Daniel knows very well. And I was like, I'm going to try to find some new music. And I didn't know how to do it. So I would literally just like pick up an album and look at it and go, yeah, this looks cool. And then hope for the best. And that's how I discovered the Backstreet Boys.
Boy, I like the look of this. Look at those guys.
I'll buy the poster on my way out.
that's how I discovered The Section, which is a metal band.
Yeah. I wanted to make
And Kalma.
You said Amoeba was the one in San Francisco, right?
Yep.
I wanted to make, when I go to the West Coast, I normally shop at Paramuseum.
Next question.
Different stuff.
True or false? Fight number 3.
Wait. Is this the third question?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
All right.
So, for those of you watching, we usually don't drink this beer until we hit question 3. But that also gives us a chance to kind of taste the beer and like have a few sips of it before we start really trying to review it. So we're doing it.
We're doing it, damn it.
All right, true or false? The inspiration for this beer's name and purpose came from Jacqui C. Smith, who convinced Brewyard to continue the Black is Beautiful fundraiser efforts.
So that seems... I mean, based obviously off of the art that we saw on Instagram as well now, not just the can art, that seems legit. Like that would be because, so I don't know if Phil, when you were in New York as well, did they do the Black is Beautiful beers?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Everywhere.
Yeah, so they were, we had a bunch of variations of it down here as well. Every brewery did their variation of it. We had a couple local ones get together with like non-for-profits and stuff like that and really drive that. But it after a month, it's gone. So I could see this person being the driving force of trying to continue this and trying to make this happen, which is great. So I'm going to say true.
Its inspiration was to continue. I don't know if it continued with the exact same fundraiser efforts as Black is Beautiful, but I'm sure it was. I think it was inspired. I'm going to go true as well on this one.
So I will wait for a second to see if anyone else wants to answer before I say anything.
Just tell me it's right before Vero answers, so I can feel like a champion.
So this is actually false. I tricked you all.
God damn it!
Every once in a while, I got to throw some shit in, man. All right. Vero said false. She was one of them. She didn't actually have to convince them. They actually had some ideas going in together because there was a fundraiser.
See, there's a lot of words in here. Inspiration, convinced, continue. They all mean something a little different.
So they... Kirk and Jacqui had both been discussing doing another collab because they had already done one for a different lager. And so there was a 2020 art festival that had been canceled. And so they kind of like took that opportunity to start talking. And it became almost like this replacement fundraiser for what that art show would have done, the festival.
Okay.
And so while they were kind of working through the like ideation of the beer, that is when the Black is Beautiful came in. And so it really did follow the cultural shift of like really making sure that voices of people of color are like represented, especially in the beer community, because they just aren't very well represented. So, like you said, it was like an opportunity for her to kind of like reach a new market from what she usually hadn't done. Anyway, so the proceeds for, did I have a question in here about proceeds? Yep, that's the next one, so I won't go into that. Good thing I checked.
Almost gave me the answer.
But yeah, so they actually went on it together with both her and Kirk. And this was something that they both were very interested in doing. So it was tricky because I said it was just her and then she had to convince them, but there was no convincing involved.
That's some shiesty shit.
I know.
Phil, I'm sorry. What glass are you drinking out of? Can we see that?
It's a wine glass. I don't have a say in what the glassware is. Yeah. The glassware in the place I'm staying in, let's just say this was my best option. So maybe when I visit one of the local breweries, I'll buy a glass.
Buy a fucking glass.
And I'll Instagram it. But for now, let me just swirl my beer.
Oh, I love it.
This is actually very good. It is not boozy.
We're not there yet, man.
We're not there
I know.
yet.
I'm just pointing out something.
Whoop.
I'm sorry.
Tiffany,
I didn't touch it.
don't touch
That's it's my fault.
See?
Oh, so something about proceeds. Let's go.
Oh,
Okay.
true or false? Proceeds from this beer went to the Glendale YWCA, which strives to eliminate racism and empower women.
Well, I take some issues with this off the bat because that's the Young Women's Christian Academy. Just like the Young Men's Christian Academy. And trust me, ain't none of them trying to get rid of racism or empower anybody.
Jeez.
So...
Is it Academy? Is that what that
is it? I think originally it was.
I thought it was association.
Is it?
Maybe it's changed.
But it is Christian originally, which...
It's the cool.
Yeah, it's the Young Women's Cool Academy. Let's get rid of the Christian part.
Coalition.
However,
association.
Coalition association is really hard to say. Let's not make
it's almost as hard as saying Brewyard Beer Company.
Yeah, that is a tough one. However, I will say this is likely true because
I'm going with true as well.
Yeah, that would be a great cause to pump money into, like all jokes aside.
It'd be really shitty if I was like, yeah, it'd be nice if they did that, but they didn't.
No, that would be great. They actually gave it the YMCA.
No, this is true. They did sell these cans of beer, and
thank God Vero got one right. It's been a while.
A portion of the proceeds went towards working in the local community, which was really important to both the Brewyard individuals, Kirk and Sherwin, and Jacqui. And so, what's the next question? I just gotta make sure. I didn't really label them very well in my notes.
Just keep talking because I am struggling over here with my mouse.
It's fine. But anyway, they really wanted to choose a local organization that was really actively trying to work towards social justice and racial equality in their own neighborhood versus send the money elsewhere. And they really were excited about the fact that this organization was very, like for at least Jacqui, it was like geared towards women within her community. And then the actual idea for the name of it, which was Kirk's idea, came from a music video called Goody Mob. Or not music video, but like a song.
The song is Beautiful Skin by Goody Mob.
Yeah,
correct.
That's what I meant. I'm reading wrong.
Tiffany's
Thanks.
very hip to modern music.
No, I read it and dyslexiated it. But yes.
That as well.
But yeah.
Next question.
All right. Oh, I should have given you the quote from her. Then I forgot that this was one question.
Wow.
All right. I'll say that later. What are some of the other beers that Brewyard Beer Company is known to produce? Select all that apply. A California Common Lager, a yam-flavored IPA, a lime pilsner, a lemon lavender pilsner, and a foeder-aged rye ale.
Put it in my foeder.
Yeah,
you know
put
what
it
I'm
right
going
in that
for.
foeder.
God.
God, and is my fooder aged? It is.
My fooder is more aged than most. So the California Common Lager sounds fun, but is there a California Common Lager?
It sounds like something real old to me, like
Yes.
it was like the original
Okay,
beer.
good. Tiffany says yes, so
Yeah,
It is a real. All of these are real things.
okay.
I think they might. Cat Lane says A, C, D, and E.
D, and E. A fooder aged rye ale makes good sense. A lemon lavender pilsner sounds
Lovely.
crazy delicious.
Yeah,
I'd
it sounds so good.
Out of that. It's like eating a Tide Pod but drinking a beer with it. Like put it in
We've all been there.
Yeah. I kind of want it to be a yam flavored IPA as well, though.
Yeah.
So I'm somewhat on board with Vero, which I know sounds rare. But I'm gonna skip C and I'm gonna say A, B, and D. And E.
All right.
A, B, D, E. Like I don't know the alphabet. A, B, D, E.
I was going to do all of the above, but now that Vero said ABC, I think I have to do that as well.
You son of a bitch.
All right. So the answer is ABC.
Is it as easy as one?
Yes. 1, 2, 3.
No, ma'am.
I
2.
kind of made up the lemon
3.
lavender pilsner. I
That
hope that's
sounds
actually
delicious.
a real thing because I really love like lemon lavender.
Let's reach
tea.
out to people. We can make that.
I would like to make this. Anyone who would like to make a lemon lavender pilsner?
What would you name your lemon lavender pilsner?
Ooh, that's a good question.
What's the dryer sheet bear? Snuggles? Snuggles. Lemon lavender.
Just name it Snuggles.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't have a name for it right yet, but I'll think
you
about
can't
it.
put Tiffany on the spot like
Nope.
that, man.
No, that is a very important beer in the fact that it sounds delicious and I don't want to make it. That's not a lightly named beer is what I'm trying to get at. So if I throw a stupid name out like Snuggles, then I'm sorry.
You said stupid name?
I've blown my one shot to name this super cool beer.
Snuggles is fucking legit.
Hold on. All right, so back to where I didn't say this quote.
Yeah.
So Jacqui did an interview and she said that as a Black female artist, I want the art I create to be an impactful message about empowering women of color and giving them a sense of acceptance in a society where we've been continuously misrepresented, belittled, or overlooked. This release for the spear allowed me to share that idea with an audience that I wouldn't have been able to without the help of Brewyard. So she was really excited, like I said, this was an opportunity for her to reach outside of her usual market and kind of share this message with people like us who really just drink beer. Not that I'm not, up on things.
Yeah, you're hip.
No, I listen to all the right podcasts.
Your hip's getting replaced soon. That's how hip you are.
I am. Yeah, pretty much. It does pop every once in a while. I don't think that's good. But no. So I know that, I think the three of us are probably relatively well informed, but a lot of people drink beer who might not be. So this was an opportunity.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Well, I'm loving it so far. So I want to talk about it now.
Let's get into it.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. So this is the part of the show where we actually review the beer and take the time to talk about it a little bit. And tonight we are reviewing. I can't see around it. I'm sorry.
Why didn't you see anything?
Beautiful Skin from Brewyard Beer
Company.
Right. See,
Brewyard Beer Company.
I don't want to screw it up. I almost fumbled on it like Phil.
It's not that hard.
Which is an Imperial brown lager. At 8.2%, she hits right.
And it is delicious.
It really is.
Yeah. So, who wants to start then? Boy, not everybody at the same time, you jackass.
So I've got a question for you knowledgeable beer people.
Okay.
Imperial brown lager. Walk me through that.
So Imperial, so the Beer 101 class we recently did, through Coastal, who's been on the show before. we went out to support that event, and the Imperial conversation came up with IPAs, whether it's an Imperial, a double, it's whatever they want to call it. There's no real
It's
gauge
either a
on
double
it.
or an Imperial.
Right, yeah, but there's no real like cutoff point of something that makes it Imperial versus a double or.
Okay.
So for this one, and this is my assumption, not because I researched it, which I probably should have, but usually your brown ales and your brown lagers are going to be a slightly lower ABV. It's going to be closer to like a
they're usually
7
5
to
and 6.
5.
Yeah.
If and 7 would be high.
Yeah.
And so this one being the 8.2%, it is a much higher ABV, and so putting the Imperial in there is almost like a warning label, but also puts it in a different category that someone might want to reach for versus the brown ale because they do want a higher ABV, or if you're in college, more bang for your buck.
Or in Thailand.
So throwing the word Imperial on it just basically says like, look, it's boozier than your regular brown, like because the IPA is boozier than.
Correct. Yeah. So I think about Newcastle brown ale, or like nut brown ale from like any other brewery.
So they could put on the word Imperial, make it a stronger beer, and then they could do like an Imperial Newcastle.
Right. Yeah. And so I think Tiffany's right. I think it's just the appeal of it. Of this is a heavier beer. Like this is going to be a higher ABV. It's going to be boozier.
And it is.
There is probably like there's someone who brews beer that just went, wow, I just died a little inside.
Yeah. I did notice our viewership went down, so I'm assuming it's one of those people.
Yeah, but I think I made a Canada joke, or was that last week?
But like I said, that's my assumption.
We're huge in Canada.
And I've been wrong plenty of times before, so if I'm wrong on this one, I'm okay with it.
This is my favorite, and this is what I love about the internet, though. There is no wrong. This is my opinion on it. This is what I think Imperial means.
Well, there's a right and a wrong, even if it is opinions.
You tell that to the YMCA.
That's the problem with the internet, is that people think that their opinions are fact. That's actually the biggest issue.
This is the world I live in, Phil, and I love it.
Hold on, we just lost a Facebook viewer.
We got a dislike.
It was my grandmother. Nope.
Okay. Well, who wants to go first about what you think of this? I'd love
I'll
to hear.
take care of it because I love all brown beers in general. Like it's kind of where I started in beer.
It is a good landing spot.
Other than like the Bud Lights of the world and these things, like the brown ales is where I kind of first started trying beer that was different than your standard, let's get drunk and party beers. So this one here it's definitely like a little bit boozy, but not overwhelming at all. 8.2 doesn't bother me a bit. From the IPA world, we drink 8%ers all the time, and it is what it is.
I had a 10.5.
Yeah, exactly.
The other day and literally fell asleep.
Yeah, I mean it'll kick your ass a little bit, but the nice part with this is
I bit you in the butt after having that.
Against my will, mind you, but I'm the problem. So, but what I like about this one though is that it added a little bit of booziness to it with the ABV, but it kept all the favorite characteristics of a really good brown ale. So the color of it's gorgeous. It's definitely got a little bit of chocolate, a little bit of coffee.
Looks great in a wine glass.
Looks great in a red wine glass. Yeah, I love that about it. It's what I'm going to put on my Untapped later. Looks great in a red wine glass.
I hope you do.
No, but I feel like this took the like regular brown beer in general and just gave it a little bit of a kick in the ass and almost made it a stout, which is delicious.
But it'd be like the foreign style stout, and that it's like it's a thinner, still like drinkable on a hot day if we need it kind of beer.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I dig it. So I'm an Untapped supporter, so I can put whatever I want in here. So
not on the
I'm
show.
Gonna say 4.1357.
Nope.
859.
What? No?
Can't do that. You can do it on your own, but for a show, you got to keep it in the
all right.
25.
We'll just call it 4 1/4 then.
All right.
I like this beer a lot. I would 100% have 6 more of these if I didn't have to go to work tomorrow.
So 4 more tonight then.
No.
Very accurate.
I'll go next.
Yep.
I agree fully with you on this, actually.
Don't make it sound so surprising, asshole.
Well, we actually don't normally have
No.
similar scores. So, and I actually am also going to give it a 4.25 as well. That was my first thing. The second I drank it, I went, oh, that's a 4.25. And then I was like, well, let me keep drinking it. Let me figure it out. And as I've continued to drink it, I actually sticking to that. It's so good. It's really good. To me, I was thinking, because I was like, the darker lagers, like the stouts, they get the higher ABV.
Right.
But the brown lagers tend to be lower. So it's kind of this weird, it's not a stout in the fact that like it's heavy and has that high ABV. It's kind of light. Like you could drink more than one of them.
Correct.
Which you can't really do as much with a stout or a porter. So it's like light, but it's also dark. Well, you can, but like it's a lot harder to drink those.
You gotta want
repeatedly. Yeah. So for me, like this is like a light, dark lager. Like it's light it's light to drink, and it's like got a nice carbonation to it. So
effervescent.
There we go. So I love this beer. I would gladly have more of these, and I probably will go buy more if I can find them. Which I probably can, living out in California.
So you're sticking a 4.25 as well?
Mm-hmm.
Perfect.
So I initially started at a 4.25.
Uh-oh.
As I was drinking it, it's still,
tanked.
I think part of it is I probably should have eaten more than just chips and salsa for dinner. Which is a real
problem around here.
But like the flavor, it's not like boozy and it's not bitter. I can't quite place it, but like it continues to build on itself. And I think for me, I just dropped it to a 4. Like it's not like it's a bad beer. It's just dropped a tiny, tiny bit because like I can't figure out what it is.
You didn't eat enough food today?
No.
Well,
that seems unfair.
I have to question this because you said it like built on itself. So I was thinking you were going up.
Nope. It's like built like a weird flavor that I can't quite place, and I don't think I like it, but it's not like terrible.
Okay.
Like I that's.
I can.
You're
I can
just
understand that.
Yeah, you're catching more because like as it sits on the tongue a little longer,
it's on the sides, like here.
Like
you know, like
there is a little. The mouth feel is a little stronger as you keep drinking it.
Yeah, and so I can't quite place like exactly what like flavor it is or what would cause that. I don't necessarily think it's bad. I think, and to me, I almost equate it to like maybe this is a little bit boozier, and that's what this flavor, like that feel is. Maybe I just lost all sensation in my tongue. Who knows? I'm allergic.
Enjoy COVID.
No.
Well, either way, that puts it at a show score of 4.25.
Correct.
Yes. So I do really like this beer. I think it is really light, like you mentioned, Phil. It's not like a heavy stout, but it kind of has a lot of the same characteristics and some of the same flavor profiles. And because it's a lager versus an ale, to me, I personally just like lagers better. They're kind of like a cleaner taste to me.
Mm-hmm.
Like it tastes like a cleaner, or it's
Mr. Clean.
Yeah, I love it.
No, but yeah, so I do really enjoy this, and literally it's just whatever that is on my tongue, which I
could be a litany of
other
outside factors.
Right. So that's the only reason why it's going down, because I think
they should be punished for you eating chips and salsa. That's
correct.
No,
that's exactly what we've settled on.
No, I just think that I could only drink one of these, and the reason for that is just because like the flavor.
I am flabbergasted.
Yeah, I could easily drink 2 of these, which is very rare for me with a darker.
2 to the third power for me. I could easily drink.
This would be a 4-pack for Daniel. Yeah.
2 to third power is 4. I knew my math.
Daniel, and if you bought a 4-pack and drank the 4-pack, proceeds go to the YWCA in Glendale.
Oh, but I don't want to encourage the Christians. Boy, I am in a quandary.
Well, we do have some Untapped reviews on this beer.
Oh, I'm always excited. This is my favorite. But we are at 49 minutes, and we're
going to go quick. We'll go quick. We'll plow through it.
Or let's do
shit! I need a wish you were beer.
Think about that. We'll take care of this. The description is spot on. Not a lager. Not a brown ale, not
Wait.
a porter. Who is this person? A malty coffee chocolate warm medium weight cardigan of a beer. You thought Brewyard Beer Company was hard to say? A malty coffee chocolate warm medium weight cardigan of a beer.
I'm confused. The description is spot on. Not a lager. What does the can say?
Correct.
Lager.
However, if you notice SB's profile picture, there's not a lot of spot on about this character at all.
I don't think SB is legally able to drink this beer.
He had it at Sunset.
I will say though, SB and I go to the same bottle shop. So
really?
I hope you run into this young man.
That's where I bought this beer.
However, can I just say
I love it.
Put some commas in here. I don't see why there's no. You have plenty of space for your letter. You're not running out of characters here. But a malty coffee chocolate warm medium weight cardigan of a beer, like it is a very like comforting beer.
Sure.
And it does have the coffee, it does have the chocolate, and because it's a little bit boozy, it does have that warming like right. tinge to it. I think that's a really good description of it. However, the like grammar of it makes me want to cry.
The medium weight cardigan was what hurt me the most.
I do love a good cardigan.
You live in California. You don't need a medium weight anything.
Oh no!
I wear quite a few medium weight cardigans.
That makes perfect sense. But we work differently.
Oh,
okay.
Don't act like you and I have not worn cardigans together and looked awesome.
There's no photographic evidence of that.
It was a cardigan. That was a pullover.
Yeah, but there's definitely
it's a pullover. But thanks for noticing.
All right, continue.
Taste like a basic porter to me, but since it's higher ABV than a basic porter, I'll grade on a curve. Rihanna Keeves is an idiot. Next.
Smooth, just like.
Wait. I'm sorry. Hold on. Wait.
What are you doing? What is
I
happening?
I didn't do anything.
Wait.
Go back.
Were you controlling the slides?
There you go.
I thought I controlled the slides.
Smooth just like my skin. Put some goddamn lotion on your hands, bro.
I know.
You can't.
Also, this is not about your skin, sir.
This
is clearly not about your skin.
Right.
So correct.
This is where I come in and go, like, I know it's three white people talking about beer and people of color, but
Jesus, Godfrey.
But we respect it. We don't. All right. Next. Are you hitting it or am I hitting it? Stop throwing me
that's
off.
you, Haas. All I did was change my screen.
He may have done something. All right. Good dark lager. Not as sweet as Newcastle. Newcastle is not. I'm sorry. More like a light porter.
Earn the Brewery Pioneer level 6 badge.
Oh, Steve, you're so sweet.
Steve's a sweet guy. Him and Godfrey hang out on the weekends, and they're figuring this shit out. He put it in an ice cream float soda cup.
Hey, I got one of those cups.
Like, yeah, that comes with root beer and vanilla usually, Haas. Like,
that is.
But I will say, light porter is not he's somewhere.
Well, I'm not worried about that, but
yeah,
not as sweet as Newcastle. Yeah, Newcastle's like 4.5%.
Well, and it's sweet
the
on
hell
purpose
do you want?
in the same way that, like, I don't know, like you drink like a Budweiser or a Coors Light or Bud Light. Like, they are very sweet because they want people to drink a lot of them. Newcastle is low ABV, and it is like they're catering to the masses.
You guys can argue with me.
Delicious.
Y'all can argue with me all you want, but there's a reason me and Steve are not friends.
Absolutely delicious offering from Brewyard. Kind of sweet or plummy on the nose, slightly warm on the throat. It definitely is warming, which I like I said, it's kind of that slightly boozy, but it's still sweet enough that it's not boozy. And it's got enough like malt and other flavors that it masks it really well.
Sure. And
Jason got this at Brewyard.
Yeah, I was going to say he bought it from the brewery, which
look at all his friends.
What?
Tagged his friends.
There's 4 of them.
I know.
I have 3.
That's 4 more than I have.
Like, I could tag 3 friends all the time if I wanted to. But
Hey, Daniel, do you know what it's like to have something slightly warm on the throat? And let's move on to the last section of the show, and my computer is going slow.
All right. That was a great setup, Phil.
Thank you. You're welcome.
So, for those of you unfamiliar with the show, this is the portion of the show where we take a chance to just reflect on something either from the week, from the month, from the rest of our lives that Tiffany just figured out that we wish was actually beer instead of what it really is. So it's just a chance to comment on anything that each one of our individual persons chooses to without the reflection of what our companies or employers deem at no. Okay, go ahead.
My
Phil.
views are my own, and they are not reflective of my employers or any of the organizations in which I am associated with.
How many organizations are you associated with?
I would like to go first.
So
Can I please go first?
So many
Yeah, go before you
organizations.
forget. Go before you
Can I
forget.
go
Yes,
first?
go.
All right. I wish Tom Brady retiring was
How
beer
dare you?
because,
Stop it. I know where this is going, and I don't like it.
because at least if it was a beer, I would know
It would be sexy as hell.
if
That's
it
what
was
it would be.
retired or not. Like that
God,
beer
it'd be
is
so
no
good
longer
looking.
in production.
By the way, your boy Garoppolo is probably going to replace him down at the Bucks, so enjoy that.
I know.
With that shave.
Oh God! Sorry, I didn't even listen to you because I was so angry. 'Cause I knew it wasn't positive. You know what I feel about Tom Brady. This 8.2 is right there.
You know how I feel.
What argument number is this? Is it like argument number 6? We did promise.
Tommy played football good.
You damn straight he does. Sorry. What were you saying?
Sorry.
Now I'm all worked up and turned on at the same time.
Island boy. See, I wish I had that damn. God.
No, I just I just wish that it was beer because at least I know when a beer is out of production. Maybe I'm just behind and I didn't read the news today, but is he retired or not?
Yeah. He officially came out
Today?
and retired.
Out of the closet?
No.
God.
He's married to Giselle.
My
He didn't
pants
officially
just
come out.
exploded with that idea.
Yes, he is officially retired.
Okay.
Read a book, man.
I was busy making slides.
Well, it's
Not
because
for this
freaking
show.
I was
ESPN.
PowerPointing all day.
ESPN sucks, and they fucking jumped on it and then
sure.
ruined everything. But
They jumped. Yeah, they really ruined his retirement.
they've ruined a lot of things for
I mean-
Tom Brady. ESPN is the worst. They are the devil.
Don't at me, Stephen A. Smith. All right.
Sorry, you can go ahead, Phil. Your turn.
I wish that black-owned breweries were beer because then there would be more of them. I learned throughout this process that of the 8,000 breweries, there are only 60 black-owned breweries, and I think that's wild. I think that, I'd love to see more of them, and that's my wish for beer.
Boy, really making mine look like shit.
Well,
All right.
no.
Yeah,
hold on,
I thought maybe I'd go last because that seems like a great out for this.
God, that was
this
good.
episode.
It was good.
No, I
I'm
agree.
so sorry.
Yeah.
You could have been
Yeah.
like, no, Tiffany.
One of those
Well,
60 is
it's okay. But
Yeah,
a few other
that's-
things I learned before you go, Daniel. I learned that the first black brewery was opened in 1970 in Wisconsin, of all places, which
What?
seems crazy to me.
That is nuts.
Well,
Yeah.
no. So you got to think about it like not in today's terms where it is divided again, but in the 70s it was like both sides of the aisle
Still cold as
were
fuck.
no, but both sides of the aisle. That's technically north. It was where they went to get away from segregation, and there was no Jim Crow down there or up there. So, but in the 70s it was post like the equality movement as a whole.
Yep.
And so like it was an opportunity to like grow that and then continue to be supported because especially in the north, like it was a big deal at that point in time, and like it was the right moment for that in the right location.
It wasn't the right location because it was opened by Theodore Mack, who worked at Pabst. And after 2 years, it had to shut down because of racism and they couldn't get funding and
Never
all of
mind.
that. So not great for them.
Sorry, your family lived there, Phil.
But
My family is
I was a little shocked to find out that the first Black Oak Brewery was opened in Wisconsin.
Yeah, that's really interesting, though. Yeah.
I was saying, well, I know like Ohio.
Hey,
I'm sorry.
let's wrap it up, B.
All right, Daniel.
I
What
hate
do you
to
wish
Dave
was
Chappelle
beer
you
this
on this
week?
one, but wrap it
Oh
up,
wait,
B.
but wait. One of the, and you did mention this really fast. One of the black-owned breweries is actually in Hampton, in the Thebes area, and it is 1865, and it is fantastic. Not only is it a black-owned brewery, but they also have really awesome, like fresh coffee and fantastic flatbreads.
Oh
and
man, I
anyway.
think this month you guys should maybe go there and do a
it's
little
on
video.
my to-do list.
You're gonna push videos on me. I'm gonna push videos on you. That's
Well,
right. That's
maybe the
your.
first video you shot outside of this live, whatever.
I'm gonna have to
Oh.
edit your video, but yeah.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Thanks, Phil.
Hard day.
All right, Daniel. What do you wish was beer?
Mine's really easy. I honestly just wish the weather here, as of late, was beer because I'd know what to expect.
Oh yeah, it's been weird.
Because we were last weekend, we were in the teens and had snow. Today it was 60. Tomorrow is going to be 65 degrees in early February.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, but then like next week is back to like
Right.
20s.
Yeah, exactly. I just wish the weather around here was beer because I'd know what to expect. I know what
Oh,
I'm
there's
getting
a
into.
recent
I like
study.
this. I like that. I'm not talking about that.
If
I'm sorry for beer.
the weather was beer here, it'd be very warm and beautiful and sexy. So
Trust me.
You don't want-
Island boy.
don't
See
want
if I had
warm-
that clip.
You don't want warm beer.
It depends on what it is. That's probably better as it keeps going.
I'll let you know.
All right.
All right. Next week, what are we doing?
I
Anyone know?
Beer.
have not
More
the
beer.
fucking slightest. I hope.
That's
oh.
one.
Oh yeah.
Hold on, let me just reach into the fridge because I'm in my kitchen. I have the can right here.
Yeah, I'm excited for this one for multiple reasons.
One cardinal.
One Cardinal.
Can
Which
art
is
is beautiful.
The
Saison.
Virginia Two Saison.
3 snow.
Only 2 reasons.
Oh.
Nope. So this is actually out of our beer drop. So I'm assuming it's out of Colorado because of that.
Yeah.
I'm sure. I will let
so-
you know next week.
I mean, I guess I can just look at the can while you guys talk.
I'm not talking to anyone currently.
I mean, you could be talking
You
to
know
me.
what I like? Oh.
Go.
All right.
So this one is candied oranges, white pepper, burnt sugar, and toffee.
God, it sounds like a wet orgasm.
It doesn't sound as good as a lemon lavender.
No. But
it
this
finishes smooth, but it's slightly dry with a touch of warming alcohol.
This always makes me think of Triumph. What finishes smooth but is slightly dry? No.
Denver, Colorado.
Get your face out of it.
No,
No,
get your face,
Right. I gotta get my face up. There we go. Denver, Colorado. All right. Saison next week. That's gonna be good.
I love Saisons. I'm very excited for this beer.
I'm excited
Yeah.
for you to be excited for this.
Thank
beer.
you. I really appreciate that.
And just so you all know, next week I will still be doing the show from the Caribbean. Just letting you know.
Oh, great. Thanks.
Just thought
Okay.
when you're talking about weather, I'm just
How's
gonna
how's your nut brown ale wine glass, idiot?
you know what? It allows me to get my nose in there to really smell it.
Trust me, it's the only glass
Mine
that can
too.
get that nose in there.
What
It
was
also
that
gets,
beer
like,
that
a
smelled
whole
awful?
taste.
We had a
What?
beer and it smelled awful. And now I'm thinking about if I drank it out of this, it would just be the worst.
I don't know if I
Was it the faux Brett? Didn't the faux Brett smell like garbage?
Yeah, that one was terrible.
Yeah, that one was
I
rough.
didn't like
Yeah,
that one.
it smelled bad. It didn't taste all that bad, but it smelled
No,
awful.
it was bad all around. I did not like that one.
All right,
Thank goodness they weren't on.
listen. Our dog's gonna wake up soon.
I
so-
need
Daniel, close
Which
us
is not
out. You're so
usual.
good
I got
at it.
All right, so thank you guys for stopping by. Again, we enjoy the show so much, and we're glad that for some dumb reason other people enjoy it as well. Please come back next week. Please follow us on all the different channels: Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, the YouTubes. Make sure you like and subscribe. Share it with your friends, please. And I
Oh,
guess-
let me interrupt you for a second because I thought of
Yeah.
a new thing. Share it with the brewery you go to.
oh yeah, for sure.
'Cause
Yeah.
that would be awesome. Give them
Yeah.
our information. We'd love to have someone that you recommend on the show.
We'd love to
So
have
if
them on
there's,
the
if there's a
show.
local brewery you have,
Absolutely. We'd
That
love to
would
have
be
them
nice.
on the show, try their beer, and then in turn make fun of them
No.
indefinitely like John Mallet. So yeah, please share it with your brewers.
Yep.
I do love the mallet.
The Mallet!
the mallet.
But absolutely, share it with anybody you think may like beer, has a beer that you like. Really, anything beer related.
And if you get a brewery on this show, I will personally send you a sticker and a handwritten letter.
Wow.
Really, really sell them.
Boy, and it'll be in calligraphy.
It could be.
It's,
I know how.
It's not a wish you were a beer sticker. It's just a sticker that says thanks.
No, it'll be a wish you a beer sticker.
Whoa.
Big day.
All right. Daniel,
So,
finish the closeout.
thank you guys so much. Well, we look forward to seeing you next week. Let's have a Saison next week. Bring your own Saison to the table if you can't get the one we're having. And we'll see your funky bread asses later.